get more people involved with anything that's going on with council in the elections and like we have organised campaign of bedroom back and stuff, how would you get more people involved, especially women?
Can I just quickly, just because you know you said that like is it in Stoke they don't do protests. It's the same thing in Wolverhampton. Like you mention the word protest and it's like
same question, isn't it? How do we get people involved?
Yeah.
Great question. Over to you.
Yeah, I'll have a go. I think one of the things I tried to do with the bedroom tax protest was every single tweet, leaflet, anything that went out with it on, put the word peaceful protest, family friendly, made sure that it was accessible to everybody. Because I think protest can sometimes sound like quite a threatening word with, potential violence and aggression there. I think just sort of reiterating the message that you can protest against something without it being aggressive and intimidating and antagonistic in that way. So just keep going over that message. Maybe depending on what the campaign is really, if it's something that affects a particular group, you could have activities relating to it, so a bit of fun in there as well. So you could have, if it was I don't know, Clare once mentioned to me they had a giant board game. Was it for a poverty campaign?
Yeah.
So
getting some out of poverty.
Snakes and ladders, yeah.
It's a big, massive thing all around. It's around Chesterfield, and they've got a couple of local MPs to come down, sort of play against each other. So basically, you sort of through games, and that means you've got to stop on something. There's an issue like, if you've got a chance for some training, then you go up the ladder, but then, you're...
Can I keep that? The detail of that just for later, because that's one of the things we're looking at, how we can use creative campaigning. But it's a great idea. Do you want to add to this?
I completely agree. In terms of the getting people involved with the council, these things can be a catalyst to involve people, but it's the next step in terms of people feeling like they have a right to stand or to be involved in the bits between. So we've got, and I think Wolverhampton will have very similar issues, huge disillusionment with political protest, but actually, I know this is a WEA session, so we would say that. So political education is the thing, understanding. People are going, well, how did this happen? How come this decision's been made and we've never asked and we have nothing? Well, we can do some small scale, just sharing with people the information on how things work. And once they get that, they start to realise that actually it's not scary. But it is the structures in society, and the urban sort of old industrial cities do tend to be very, they have a huge majority of people who just won't put their head above the parapet. And it's actually similar in the BME communities a lot, certainly with women in our city, who just feel like they will be shut down. And that fear does have to be addressed. And so I think family-friendly type, the way we shape our civic spaces is so toxic in politics, and we can shape them in a different way. We need to, and that's what works.
Thank you very much. Do you want to go?
When you organise this alliance, you need to attract the attention of people who disagree with you, or people who can be quite antagonistic in your space and lead to big arguments. I just wonder how you managed those people to have a group before you face the message.
Do you want to have a go at this first?
Yeah, it terrifies me, all of that, and I have a lot of sympathy when people get that, but I do think the one thing to do is just walk away from the computer. That was really the underlying thing, and I found Don't Hate, Donate very soothing, because instead of spending ages thinking about how I can react and getting angry and being led by my own, that feeling, they're wrong, I've got to put the right information there, they just don't know, which, people are spending the whole week doing, and so to have something different that just changes the dynamic slightly, but also, that the tactic now, as soon as people become powerful and start to have a voice, we're seeing it now with Owen Jones, who writes to be independent and who writes very eloquently for the left, and is starting to get the sort of personal attacks now, and that's the pattern. So you can prepare for it, but you can also just not engage with it where it is a personal attack. I was going to mention Wikipedia, not because of that, but they have a sort of whole list of ways to behave online. And some of those are really useful. They're quite useful to share with groups as well, because again, we've got to create sort of civil spaces. People just feel they're anonymous and they can say what they want. So again, be prepared for it, and we can also actually, as women in not always women, but I've seen a lot of good examples where there's been men battling over something all weekend on a group, and it's getting really horrific, and it's usually the women, and it takes some guts to do this, but it's usually the women who jump onto the forum and go, "This is silly, boys, stop it." You know, and actually just do that, because then lots of people come in, and actually the vast majority of every debate is always a lot of silent people going, "What the hell are you doing? Why are you doing this again?" So we can help, if we're the silent sort, if we're the quiet supportive sort, we can still be very involved in that sort of campaign just by being the one to like something that somebody else has said if they're feeling attacked, or message them, or, you know, just give people a bit of support quietly. I think that, I mean, certainly if I've been in that position, that's what's helped me. Somebody said to me quietly, "Just keep doing what you're doing." You know, that helps people, because even leaders who look strong and tough, they're not always the same. Sorry.
I want to add this, we've got 5 minutes left. I know it's all very short.
Yeah, I'll just add a really quick point. One of the things that that we did at the protest itself, because I think Claire's already covered the online sort of aspect of it. The protest itself, I made sure there was women speakers, because I think often if there's men shouting down, you might get men shouting back. They're less likely to do it if you've got a woman on the stage. There's not stage as such, but you know, a woman up at the front speaking, it sort of it diffuses it a little bit, I think. So they made a conscious decision to make sure that there were women at the front as well.
Okay, we're into the last few questions. We've got one here. Anybody else want to ask a question so we can get a few lined up? Over to you then.
This is actually just a reflection, I think, because Alice tends to be quite modest. A couple of the things that she did quite well is getting a whole lot, right from the beginning, getting a whole load of this is what I was trying to get at, a whole load of cross group, and I don't just mean political groups, but different groups involved from the beginning to help prevent as much of that as possible. And then on the day itself, no political group spoke as well. It wasn't just women, no political group spoke, and it was people that were directly affected by the bedroom tax as well, which I think also helped diffuse the whole going against one group or another. So whatever problems there were, I think they're two, linking to the question before about how that's what I saw being done.
Another thing that you did, I think, was you got those of us who were interested to also help support other people to get involved. So, for example, I was in phone contact with someone who'd never been on a protest before, a young woman who'd never been on a protest before, and she was bringing her little son with her, and she was scared about it. And so I phoned up, met her, you know, and so that sort of thing really helps to engage people a bit nervous. Yeah.
Great. Last chance.
Really quick question. I wonder how you find when you're doing something online, like the Facebook and images that you're talking about, it can be, my experience is it can be really overwhelming if one or two people are the ones who are sort of keeping an eye on all the time. You mentioned sort of jumping in and going, "Can you stop arguing now, please?" You know, but how do you manage that? Like, how do you encourage other people to do those things that are actually quite small but really valuable? How do you encourage them to help you moderate a space so that it's safe for everyone to
I think you just message people and ask them, so find the people that you trust within that group and just sort of give them you need to spread the workload on that. Groups that have only one person trying to moderate just burn out because you can't keep doing it. Sooner or later you become the dictator who's telling people to stop speaking. So I think you want to get a group, and it's a great role to give people actually as well, like people who don't want to, you know, get so involved or maybe don't have the mobility to go around doing flyering or something like that, can be the people who could sort of be peaceful. You know, it's actually a role that we I would just widen it out and say, actually, we're not getting enough people. Do you mind just, putting a few thoughts in? Or I really like what you said to me quietly, but I don't really want to put it on myself. Do you mind putting it up? That sort of thing. You literally just go and ask them, but do it in a way that won't make me feel like put on the spot. Do it in the back.
Okay, you want to add to this?
Yeah, just a quick bit to add to that. I agree with what Claire said. You do have to spread it out. The best way for me to do it was to look at the people who were having an active contribution, not in a negative way, not the ones who were spamming it all, spamming everything all the time, but the ones who were obviously wanted some input into it. Just send them a message and saying, look, you've been really helpful with, keeping the board active, that kind of thing, and of course a lot of interesting things which we're willing to moderate. And nobody said no. So
the other thing is diverting the arguments, because I think the thing about keeping your agenda really, really clear really helps people to get involved, and it helps. We had to do it with the March on Stoke one, where we had a huge debate of do we have this march and the cuts. Because a lot of people felt strongly about the cuts, but actually not everyone in our group felt strongly about the cuts. Some people thought they were justified. So we had to start diverting people to other campaigns, and actually that's a way of building up this sort of capital that we heard about earlier, where you're supporting other people's campaigns. So you can do it in a way that doesn't just say, look, this isn't the point, we'll stop shouting at each other about this particular issue, it's not the point of this. You can say, actually, if you care about budget tax, this isn't the place where we're focusing on that, because we need to focus our energies on this campaign. But there's a group here, why don't you go join that? And then you're offloading some of the difficult arguments as well. Because actually there's a group for everything, there's a cause for everything, and you do, if you're going to avoid burnout, you've got to pick your causes, whether they're the ones you think are going to be the most successful or the ones you feel most passionate about. If you don't select, you can get involved in everything right now, can't you? And that's the thing about getting online as well. You get online for the first time and then suddenly realise there's all these communities of people